Hey, all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly value, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hello, everybody. How are we doing it? How are we doing today? Hopefully everybody's fine. Thank you for the early contributions. Thank you, Mrs. O. I appreciate you. Thank you. Pronounce M.R. Negro. Okay. Sister Kendra, would you consider doing a deep dive on movies? Really love your color purple perspective. I've been thinking about the movies. That's so funny you should say that, because I've been thinking that probably movie breakdowns should be more of the bulk of my membership content, because I don't want the membership content to be the same thing that I do for everybody. I've been thinking about that. It's funny you should say that. That might be my sign. Because I think I personally think I'm good at the movie breakdowns and making them relevant to some part of our culture or experience. Because I remember I did a movie breakdown of YouTube Make Me Take You Down. But I did a cultural breakdown of the Planet of the Apes. That the new trilogy that came out, the newest one, when the first one came out, I did one of that and breaking it down how that was the Black community. And then YouTube made me take it down because I had used one or two little old clips. They was acting stupid. Anyway, thank you so much. Thank you, Steve said what it is. How you doing? Thank you, Sister Beshua said for my plate. Thank you so much. I appreciate everybody. Y'all think I should do a poll? Hold on. Because I got a couple of announcements. Hold on. Matter of fact, I think I should do like a little poll. I'm mad I can't do certain things from StreamYard. But matter of fact, let me see. I wanna. It's not gonna let me do it from the phone. Hold on. Because I gotta come all the way to YouTube. That'd be really killing me. Let's see. We're gonna do a poll. If I can get my spelling. I did Violent Night. I did do Violent Night. I be forgetting what I did. Thank you, John Teal. Say your Violent Night breakdown was so funny. I forgot I did Violent Night. I forgot I did Violent Night because, okay, I have to see if I can get fans. But I've been working on the t-shirts, and I created some designs. So I ordered them because, I want to do quality control. I want to make sure of what I'm selling before I actually sell it. Right? I don't want to sell things to you guys and I have no idea what the quality is of those t-shirts. So I made the designs and then I ordered them for myself so that I could see what the print quality is, what the quality of the t-shirts, how they fit, things of that nature. And once I get that tweaked, then I'll be able to put all of those things in the store for sale. So I did use the lioness, one of the lioness pictures that I showed. I did one of those, and then I did a t-shirt with print only on it. The unbig your back. Y'all wanted the unbig your back. So it's gonna take a little minute because they have to create them and then send them to me. So as soon as I get those, I'm gonna show them to you. Probably take like a week and a half to get them out. So I'm gonna have to see because they do have the company that I'm dealing with does have different products. I don't know if they have hand fans to create with. But that's just a update on those things. So when I say that I'm gonna do things, it may be a little slow, and for those that I apologize, but I don't say them randomly. I say them online in order to actually keep myself accountable. So even if the timeline is slower than I wanted it to be, I'm absolutely going to, God willing, do the things that we said we were going to do. Thank you, Lord Geotron. How you doing? Say Miss Q, it's been a while since I contributed. So here's what I can afford to show homage, respect, and support. Thank you for your diligence and hard work. Salute. Thank you so much. I appreciate everybody's contribution. Doesn't matter the amount. You know, I'm never going to try to act as if someone's amount isn't good enough, because all of your hard-earned money is more than good enough, because you don't have to give it. You're not obligated to give it. So I appreciate every contribution that I receive. So thank you so very much. I appreciate you, sweetheart. And I haven't forgotten about the Kendrick Drake. I started to do that today and then put it on membership. Just a warning. I'm going to do the Kendrick Drake thing, and I'm going to do it set to the value system. I'm going to make those things relevant. But I will warn you, I am very biased. I am very much a Kendrick fan. Very much a Kendrick fan. So it will be biased when it comes to who I like better. Drake got some bops, and that's fine. I got a few of them on my playlist. And I didn't take them off my playlist either. But I'm very much biased. I'm very much a Kendrick fan. So just know that. So anyway, yes, with the movie reviews on Kendrick Lamar's internet, definitely on K-Dot's internet. The video was crazy. Him and beating that owl was over the top. I think he got it out his system because Kendrick was really on his Gemini petty. And I think he can get it out of his system. Because we get to the petty, and then we get it out of our system, and then we just go back to normal like it didn't happen. Mm-hmm. So he done with it now. It's gonna be what it's gonna be at this point. He did his concert. He went on and did the music video because it is a big song. It's a hit. Went on and did that, and now he done with it. He done. He good now. Drake shouldn't have woke up the twin. He shouldn't have woke that twin up. Shouldn't have wake that twin up for. We get to Patty. Baby, because you do not like us. You the very one that's not like us. You not like us, beloved. She was the very one he was talking about. She's the not like us that he was talking about. So hun sitting up there talking about, you know what they say, they not like us. Yeah, you mean you not like us? I don't know why they still parading her around like a black woman. She told you she ain't black. She told every Negro and Negress in this country that she was not black. She ran on the ticket like she was a black woman and the first black vice president female, that whole thing. As soon as she got in the office, she said that she was on the Asian thing. She said her mother is a East Indian. What is y'all talking about? And her father is not even, he black, you know, he melanated, but he not American. Ain't her daddy like West Indian or something? So she said, everybody, she ain't black, baby. And what y'all thought? I don't know why everybody trying to act like she black. She told y'all to y'all face she wasn't black. She not like us. And she married to a white man. She's not like us. Baby, you the very one he was talking about. You think he was just talking about Drake? No, he was talking about all of the culture vultures. He was talking about all of them. Thank you, Lord Gio. Trying to say I use your lion as a hyena analogy on another panel. It was respect, not a theft, miscure. You're a pillar of soul for peace. I don't mind. Spread it out. Folks need to, it's an easy analogy to understand. Yeah, she married to a Cardenstein. Baby. She is married. She is not married to a Mr. Cartwright, baby. She went above Mr. Cartwright's head, baby. She went over his head, baby. She got her a Cardenstein. She got her a Cardenstein. Okay? Eat your heart out, Mr. Cartwright. She got her Cartenstein. You got to pronounce all the T's. She got her Cartenstein. You got to pronounce every T. But anyway, so that's enough for the announcements and things of that nature. Was there anything else that I wanted to say before? No, I don't think so. Baby, when they asked her that question, she almost laughed in that face. Huh? What? Baby, listen. Baby, listen. She said, "Dudes just for black people." She was worse than Soulja Boy. Drake. Blacks. She was worse than And they had her up there. Like she a black woman. And she a cosplay. And see, that's what we talking about. They not like. That's what Kendrick was talking about. See, people want to act like it was just a little song. It wasn't. Kendrick was trying to tell everybody about these culture vultures and folks that put on the costume of being black. But when it's time to be black, you don't want to be black. You're not me no black and all that kind of stuff. Me no black when it's time to be black for real. And we got our problems as a group of people culturally. I speak about those problems every day. But don't be cosplaying it when it's convenient for you. And then when when it's time to really stand up for it and stuff like that, then me no black. I don't want to hear that. Keep that me no black energy all the time. And that's why I don't like when folks try to talk about Kamala like she black. She told you out of her mouth she wasn't black. She said that out of her mouth. This ain't no speculation. This ain't nothing somebody just came up with. She told you out of her mouth she not black. Thank you, Luke Casely. Cardi B told you out of her mouth that she not black. So stop calling them black women. And this ain't no slander to them. This is something they said out their mouth. Hey, E305. Say hey, Crimson in the chat. How you doing, sweetheart? No, I don't like that. Don't be wearing black like a costume, because those of us who are black, we don't get to take it off. And we don't get to code switch out of it. Now, I don't mind people enjoying parts of our culture and things of that nature. You want to have some fun. You want to dance. You know what I'm saying? You want to sing and things of that nature. That I don't mind. I don't mind that. I just don't like that cosplaying. Don't pretend to be Black. Be who you are and say that you enjoy some parts of Black culture. That's fine. Nobody got no problem with that. We all, to some degree, enjoy other people's cultures. So let's see. I think this is it. I wanted to show y'all something, the inspiration for today's show. Now, I want y'all to listen to this clip. It's very short, so I'm probably going to, let it play at least twice. It's very short. It was never a question of if I knew how much truck drivers make, because I don't really care.
I ain't gonna hold you. You got me tighter than the booty hole up here. Because do you know how many good men are truck drivers?
Yeah.
To hear you say that.
There's nothing wrong with a good man being a truck driver. It's just that of my options that I have to pick from, the one that I was attracted to the least was the one that just said truck driver and gave no context description or nothing else.
And I feel like she has the right to say that.
But hear me out though, respectfully, I could see why men be frustrated because I'm ready to pull my hair out because you did not give a concise answer. They asked you 15 million times, can you give me an example of a job? And you answered it every butch way but the question.
There's no boring. It was never a question of if I knew how much truck drivers make, because I don't really care.
I ain't gonna hold you. You got me tighter than the booty hole up here. Because do you know how many good men are truck drivers?
Yeah.
To hear you say that.
There's nothing wrong with a good man being a truck driver. It's just that of my options that I have to pick from, the one that I was attracted to the least was the one that just said truck driver and gave no context description or nothing else.
And I feel like she has the right to say that.
But hear me out though, respectfully, I could see why men be frustrated because I'm ready to pull my hair out because you did not give a concise answer. They asked you 15 million times, can you give me an example of a job? And you answered it every butch way but the question.
There's no.
Now, here's my thing. Baby, the woman who rejected him was 23 with 2 kids. First of all, baby, that's a red flag. You in your early 20s with 2 children, not married, and ain't with your baby daddies. You a red flag already, beloved. Okay? I don't know where these chicks is getting off at thinking that they are not red flags. You are, if you really young and you got children and you not married having them kids. See, birthing children is a young woman's game. You should be in your early 20s with your kids. I don't begrudge you that. Your eggs is fresh and fertile and all that kind of stuff. You ought to be pregnant and pushing out babies in your 20s. I recommend any woman that wants to have a bunch of kids, she have them as young as she can. The only thing is you ought to be married doing that. Having one kid here and one kid over there and having kids every which way, that's not how we do that. That is not how we do that, beloved. If you want to have your kids, you can go ahead and get married young. Go ahead and get married young. You're not too young to get married. Don't let nobody tell you that. I want all of the young women to listen to me very carefully. Listen to your auntie very carefully. If you are 20, 21, 22, 23, you are not too young to get married. Do you understand that? You are not too young to get married because you ain't too young to get pregnant. You ain't too young to be a single mother. You ain't too young to go to the deletion clinic. You ain't too young to pop your booty in a video. You ain't too young to pop your booty in a club. You ain't too young to get ran a train on spring break. You're not too young. Okay? You ain't too young to have your Gawk 3000 and all that foolishness. You ain't too young. You are not too young. Because you was doing everything married women do except be obedient and secluded to one man. You're doing everything else. You're hopping from this man's house to that man's house. You with this one, you with that one. You want them to spend money. You want them to get your nails done, hair done, pay a bill. You're not too young. If you are of legal consenting age, if you are of legal consenting age, and you doing everything under the sun with a man anyway, you are not too young to have a serious relationship. And don't let nobody tell you no different, even your mammy. Because all of the maturing that you need to do, and you will need to do some maturing if you're young, you can do that with a good man. A good man will help you in your maturation journey as a woman. And you can do so without getting jaded and getting ran through and having a bunch of kids and having a bunch of bad relationships and a bunch of bad situationships and this experience and that experience and it wasn't good. And you know what I'm saying? This one, now you're 33 and you know everything you don't want. Because you done been in this relationship, that relationship, it turned out bad, you cheated, and all that other stuff. You are not too young. Do not let your mama and do not let your aunties and your friends and all that kind of stuff tell you that if a man come along and he just a couple years older than you, so you 20 and he 25, he is not too old. Everything ain't creepy. And he want to take you seriously and all that kind of stuff. And he want to respect you. And, you know, he want to marry you. And he want to take care of you and things of that nature. He want to have children with you and build a family with you and all those sorts of things. You are not too young for that. You are not too young for that. And we know you're not too young for it because you do everything else. You ain't too young to get ran through, but you're too young to have a man take you seriously. That's backwards. That's backwards now. First time I got married, I was 20 years old. I had just turned 20 as well. I hadn't been 20 a month. You understand me? You're not too young. My mama tried to say that. Are you too young to get? No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Because if I was out here popping coochie, you wouldn't say nothing. You out here 19 trying to make OnlyFans and trying to be an Insta thought. You're not too young. You're not too young. Because sex is sex anyhow. So you mean to tell me a man want to take you serious and have sex, that's something wrong with that? But a man that want to throw you away and have sex with you, that's supposed to be honorable or something you supposed to do? So for the young ladies that's listening and things of that nature, you are not too young to get married and be in a serious relationship, okay? Because you popping that thing anyway. You might as well pop it for somebody that want you. Okay. So now, being 23 with 2 children, and ain't with them daddies is a bad look. Okay, it's a bad look because the first one I might can give to you as a mistake, bad judgment. All right, let's say you 16, 17, you had one. I can give you bad judgment. I can give you one child due to bad judgment. It's still not a good look, but I can have a little grace with that. Double spinning the block to do it again. I'm having less grace. Because you already know what it feel like. You know what it feel like to be pregnant. You know what it feel like to give birth. You know what it feel like to try to raise these babies. You already understand. So it's not a mystery to you. You spent the block and did it again with another man. Now you're just making bad decisions. Now you know better and you're still making bad decisions. Yeah, I seen that clip. I was trying to do that math, baby. You know, I was sitting here carrying the one, trying to do. When did you start? Or was it twins or what? Now, aside from her being a red flag on her own, I was glad that there was another woman there to call her out. Okay. And basically tell her, there's good men that are truck drivers. What is you talking about? And you turn him down because he didn't make a certain amount of money. That you didn't figure he made a certain amount of money. Truck drivers always make pretty good money. I don't know a lot of truck drivers that don't make good on the money. Here's my thing. Having or not having a certain job. Let me say this real quick. Having or not having a certain kind of occupation does not make a man good or bad. Okay? He's not automatically a good guy because he is a blue collar working guy. And he is not automatically a good guy if he makes I don't know, if he's some type of entertainer, I guess, or whatever. And he's not a bad guy if he is of the entertainment route, and he's not a bad guy if he's of a blue collar working type of man. The problem isn't whether the men are good or bad based on their profession. The problem is a lot of chicks these days will overlook a man specifically because of his profession without actually trying to see if the man is about something or not, regardless of his profession. Y'all will deny a man talking about his it's boring. You ain't out there on the road no how. It's boring to who? It's boring to who? His job is boring to who? You ain't got to do it. If he sit there and count peanut hulls all day, and it's enough to make a grown man cry, what that got to do with you? Huh? I want to know what that's got to do with anything. Huh? If he got to sit there and his job is to count shoelace tips all day, what that got to do with anything? If he can make $80,000 counting shoelace tips all day. What they got to do with anything? Huh? I imagine that job to be extra boring. I wouldn't want to sit there and do it. But if a man come to you and you say, baby, well, you get to talking about him and stuff like he talk about himself. He say what he do for a living. Well, I count shoelace tips. You do what now? Yeah, I make sure that the shoelace tips is on there. So I got to count and make sure each shoelace got a tip at the end. And if it don't got no tip, I got to put it on there. You count shoelace tips. Yeah, it pay good. You will reject him and laugh with your friend. Girl, he counts shoelace tips. Girl, who do that? Where they do that at? That man make $150,000 a year counting them dang on shoelace tips. He could have gave you anything you want. Because you broke, you ain't got no money. So them shoelace tips pay real good because it's tedious, So what his boring job got to do with you? You ain't got to sit there and watch him count the shoelace tips. Huh? You don't do nothing with your day all day, no how. You boring. She wants somebody else to do something exciting because she boring. She wants some man to, take her here and there and everywhere. Girl, don't nobody got no time for that. Is you looking for a steady relationship, or are you looking for something to tell your hyena friends that your man do? Because I think y'all just want something to talk about among your hyena friends. That's what I think you want. You don't want no good man because you're not even looking everywhere. As much as y'all swear down ain't no good men existing, and men is hard to find, and men don't want to marry you, and men that you ought to be looking high and low. High and low for a man. If he tell you, I watch his paint dry for 6 hours, and stuff like that. I get paid to make sure that the paint don't crinkle or nothing like that. I make sure it don't crinkle. I make sure it don't turn a weird color, nothing like that. I watches it dry, and stuff like that. They pay pretty good. What you ought to get real interested in paint dry. So what colors is your favorite to watch? Make a whole 20-minute conversation about which color he liked the best and which brand of paint dry fastest. You better make a conversation with him about that. For all you know, this is the best man you ever meet. And it'll be something to talk about. What your man do, girl, you'll never believe it. After these messages, we'll be right back. Because the season is upon us. We have already lit our firecrackers and everything. And it is still going. It is still the summertime. And we still have to have our skin soft and wonderful. So if this is what you're trying to do, need to go to ashkicking.com. The link is at the top of the chat. In order to get the best body care and body butter on the market. It is soft. It's not greasy. It's not tacky. and it doesn't just sit on top of your skin. You know how sometimes body butter just kind of sit there and it don't absorb. This is not it. This is some of the best, creamiest body butter, and it smells awesome. All of the different scents that they have, and even the unscented, is such a wonderful addition that you need to have in your arsenal. If this is going to be your first order, take advantage of the 10% discount using the promo code Crimson at checkout. Once again, go to ashkicking.com. Don't know how many likes I need, but you got to bam, 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 bam. You got to hit the like button. Bam, bam. You got to go ahead and hit the like button for me. Let me see. Thank you, Miss Lou Casely, for your super sticker. Thank you, Chief Rockers. I check out what Attorney River Martin said regarding VP Harris being replaced by the Democratic Party by a white man. Oh, they're going to get rid of Sister Girl. That's interesting. All right, John Teal said they'll call a 40-year-old man with a 25-year-old woman creepy, but see no issue with having children from multiple men without knowing his last name. Thank you once again for your super sticker, Chief Rocker. Thank you again, John Teal. So I'm a longshoreman. I thought that said long horseman for whatever reason. I'm a longshoreman, and from time to time I drive a truck. Believe me, it's very exciting being able to pay a mortgage, and that's in LA. Yeah, you doing it big if you paying something out in LA. Thank you, Bottom Line News. I don't understand sometimes what is all this excitement these women be looking for. And this is what I'm talking about. Bottom line. What do y'all want? What is this excitement? What is boring? What is boring? What is this boring? What is this excitement y'all want men to provide for y'all? What is he supposed to be, a court jester? When you supposed to just dance a jig for you when you feel low, he get up. That is not what a relationship is not to entertain you. Your man is not there to entertain you. And this is how you know women have zero idea about what relationships are supposed to be about in the first place. Too many social media talking points. And what is excitement? I'm trying to figure that out, because it doesn't affect you one way or the other what he does for his work, or whether or not his work is exciting to you or not. Maybe he like it. Maybe a truck. You ever thought about a truck driver might like them long roads just so you can think and stuff like that. He listen to a little music and whatever else, and he driving and stuff like that, because I feel like driving is therapeutic to me. Excuse me. I like just driving. That's therapeutic to me. So I figure, even though it can be tiresome and things of that nature, a bother, at times, because it is still work. But I'm pretty sure that he finds there's some enjoyment in it as well for him. What they got to do with you? If you think he bored in the truck, why don't you call him? Not with that nonsense. Don't you call him arguing with him on that road. He got to concentrate, and he can't do that with you arguing. Because he is 557 miles away from you anyway. He can't do nothing about whatever it is you arguing about. I'm trying to figure out what, a man that's constantly got time to be around you and entertain you and take you here and take you there. He ain't got no job, right? Huh? A man that's constantly is able to be in your face. And y'all can go here and go there and go to this little function and that little function and this little fest and that little, outing. He ain't got no money, right? You ever find yourself going to all these little outings and you got to come up out your purse? Because he ain't got no money, right? He got a lot of time. You shouldn't even want no man with no whole lot of time on his hands. Why idle hands is the devil's playthings. Why do you want a man with just time? What is wrong with you? Because the only kind of men I know that's got that kind of time, but he got money, is the super wealthy man. And I'm saying that because if he has built himself up to a certain degree, he don't have to have his hands on his work all the time. The work is working. The dollars is going to make other dollars for him. So he doesn't have to constantly be nowhere to make no money. You understand? Because there are men who have built themselves up to such a degree that his money makes him money. So he don't got to clock in nowhere. He ain't got to be nowhere. He don't got to be nowhere he don't want to be. That is the top 5 or 1% of men. Top 5 or 1% of anybody, not just men. Because even if he owns a successful business, a lot of times he has to be somewhere. Even if it's just making sure that the systems that he put in place for other people to do are doing what they need to do. He can't completely be hands off. He has to dedicate some time to overseeing his business. No, not this either. Not that either. Let me tell y'all something about the drug dealer narrative. That's gone. Ain't no money out in them streets. Not like it was in the 90s and the early 2000s. Ain't no money out there. That's gone. All that hustling like that on the block, ain't no money out there. That's a minimum wage job. He can go work at Amazon and pull that money and don't have to risk his freedom. Ain't no money out there in them streets like that no more. That's an old thing. That's a Gen X thing. Ain't no money out there no more. They done legalized weed and everything. Ain't no money out there no more like that. He can sell it, but he ain't just all that drug dealing and he balling. That's not true anymore. That's not true anymore. He can sell the drug, but he ain't balling. I ain't saying there are no drug dealers. I'm saying they're not balling. That big baller, shot caller, but he the dope boy on the block, that's gone. That's been gone for a minute. That's been gone for a minute. The government made sure ain't no money in that. So these little low level, he's selling a perk, he's selling little pills. The police ain't even worried about that. They ain't worried about that no more because they made sure that he could not become wealthy by doing so. You're gonna make your little piddling of money here and there that it's not even worth it anymore. So we can go ahead on and just let that one go. Let that narrative go. Then all that, oh, he a drug dealer and I'm with the guy because he making the most money because he just that is not real. That is not real. Most black men that can have a show of wealth and things that they are making their money legitimately. They are not making their money illegitimate. So if you see black men and he can afford a home and he can afford, because here's the deal. Here's the deal. So many things have changed since the 90s and the early 2000s. You cannot get that. If you do make some money out in the street, how you gonna prove your money to get the things that display that you have that money? You can't go sign no lease nowhere. You can't go and sign no deed and get into buying a house, go through the procedure of buying a house with that money. What you gonna do with that money? Because who can trace it? Folks want to trace your money, that they ask you where you get it. They want a W-2, they want a 1099, they don't. You just coming up with a thing, a cash. What is this? The mafioso? What is you doing? Huh? Show up with a whole bankroll of cash you want to. They gonna call the federales on you to you be surrounded. What you gonna do with that money? Yeah, it's not taxable, but it's also not usable. In 2024, you can't use that money because where you putting it, huh? Where's your paper trail at? You'll be out here slanging dope and homeless because don't nobody want to rent nothing to you because you ain't got no. As far as they know, you ain't got no money. You gotta have legit money now. And maybe a little scam on the side, but you gotta have you something that you can prove with some paperwork somewhere. And then you can do some side hustles if that's what you want, some other money that's under the table and this, that, and the third, you can figure that out. But having illegitimate, uncountable money as your main income and think this is the 70s and the 80s and the 90s where you could just go somewhere and hand somebody some cash and say, hey, I'm just gonna live here, and they say, all right, man, that's cool. That's gone. That's long gone. That's long gone. Ain't nobody doing that. The pimp game dried up like that and everything. All them old hustles. I mean, somebody out there doing it, but when the last time you seen the big time dope kingpin in the hood and he drove the Cadillac and he had the Benz? And when the last time you seen him? Huh? What's his name? What hood he in? The pimp game dried up because a lot of these chicks out here renegades. They ain't even got no pimp. So you know the pimps ain't making no money off of them because they renegades. They online now with it. You can't stop them from making an account. So that's not even really that it took me off what I'm saying. But that's not really going on no more. We gotta redefine who these so-called Pookies and Ray Rays is. We gotta redefine that because we working with an older definition of that. We working with an older definition of that. They just want the drug dealers no, they don't, because them guys ain't got it like they had it in the 90s and the 70s and the 80s and the 2000s. Them guys don't got that like that. And we got to redefine that. We got to redefine that. The men that I would warn a lioness about is not just the old school thought about a drug dealer, this one and that one. It's the man with no vision, and he doesn't do anything, and he doesn't plan on doing anything with himself. That's who I consider to be men that women should not involve themselves with. Just men that don't have any plans. He just goes day by day. There's no structure to his day. There's no structure to his life. There's no plan, immediate or long term. I'm not just talking about a long-term plan. He don't even have a short-term one. He doesn't even have immediate little goals or anything like that. He's just fly by the seat of his pants, and it's just the day go how it go, and and he ain't really just doing nothing. I mean, he all right, and y'all can probably go get a little something to eat or something like that, but he ain't really. That's not. Those are the men that I would warn a lioness away from. Because usually that comes with its own set of issues. A man that doesn't have any type of plan or anything on no day for nothing that he comes with his own set of issues. And all of those things are problematic. Exactly. This is what I would warn against. Wayne said brothers out here can't tell you what his plans are for the next 6 months. He can't say what he gonna do this week. What's the plans this week? He don't even know. That's who you watch out for. That's who they having babies by the way. For the most part. It's not drug dealers. It's not, all these so-called bad boys. That's not who they're having children with shiftless men, I would say, in the majority of the time. Shiftless men. And you don't have to be a criminal to be shiftless. So it's not always these criminal types. Just a shiftless man. He ain't gotta be committing no crimes. Yeah, these men not always somewhere sticking nobody up, or you know what I'm saying, getting arrested. And that's not necessarily who all these men are. They just aimless, like a rudderless ship. It's almost nothing worse than a man that is rudderless in his life. Because just like a woman's supposed to be spending her 20s trying to be married, trying to, you know what I'm saying, understand what it is to be a woman, a man should be spending his 20s and 30s finding his purpose, so that when he's in his 30s and 40s, he can act it out. You understand what I'm saying? So men are supposed to be spending their young life figuring out what they're going to do, or what they want to do, what they good at. Figuring some type of focus or something that he go for. Because it's going to likely take him a long time to fulfill his purpose in the first place. And he may, you know what I'm saying, make mistakes along the way. But at the same time, that's what his youth is for. To make all of them missteps. So by the time he's late 30s, going into his 40s, he's still somewhere trying to figure out the purpose in his life. How you 48 and don't know, and you still as aimless as you were when you were 28. That's not going to work. How? Because I'm going to close this out, but y'all realize men hit the wall too. We don't talk about that. Well, what you mean, Crimson? How is it that men hit the wall? Women hit a sexual wall. Women hit the wall of attractiveness and trying to get by on her looks and her sex and all of that type of stuff. She hits the wall for that. Especially if she never got married and she didn't utilize her sex appeal and her femininity the correct way. Men hit the wall of productivity. Men hit the production wall. You're 59 years old, and your mentality and your SOS and your order and you still as dysfunctional as you was when you was 24. You hit the wall, sir. Because it shouldn't have took you this long to figure out no SOS. It shouldn't take you this long to figure out your purpose. You still talking about, I got to figure out how I'm going to build. You should have been figured that one out. You should be in the process of building it. Talking about. What are you saying? That's a sad thing to see an old man and never figured out his life. That's a sad thing indeed. The old man and never figured out his life, still hot, running up after young women and sex, and you 63. Now, we not putting nobody down, but it's just the real is real. We ain't putting nobody down because the men that this don't apply to, it don't apply to them. But it is a sad thing to see an old man and he never did figure out no direction in his life. I wasn't trying to pick on you. You know, it's just the same sad to see an old woman and she never figured out how to use her femininity and she crying. She's 63 as well, crying about where her husband is at. Woman, you so far past that. You so far past that. Don't nobody want to hear about your woes and how you couldn't find no man. Because I'm sure that there was a man that wanted you when you was younger. You didn't want him. That's all that was. You was turning him down because he was a truck driver and all that foolishness. You could have had your husband, but you didn't want him, did you? You still trying to figure out a man. Like Vivica Fox still trying to figure out where her man at. Girl, bye. You done turned your husband down like at least 10 times. You have turned down at least 10 men that wanted you. And that had the status and the money and everything. But you were so hot and you were so fine that you couldn't be bothered with him. Because, he wasn't in the limelight and all that kind of. Girl, ain't nobody got time for that. You still pining after 50 Cent. And that man ain't thinking about a bit more thinking about you than man on the moon. They want to hear them about, I'm ready to date. You ready to date? With one foot in the grave and one on a banana peel? And you ready to date? That's interesting. That's interesting. Thank you, Jerry. I always say this is why Black men sell work, because the average job is looked down on. Also, why the community likes job diversity that helps us. Thank you, Bernard. Said her money's hers, his money's hers. So is his job title, apparently. Thank you, Johnny BX. Another unspoken truth is clubs also dying out. Okay. Thank you again, Bernard. Said most women have no interest in doing blue collar work. Since a man's money and title is presumptively hers, she feels that the fancy job she can't get herself, she can get through her man. And thank you, HVAC. How you doing, HVAC? Said men do have a wall. Not going to the gym, no money, no vision, no purpose. I'm a young man seeing old heads crashing out. Exactly. You done hit the wall, sir. You're 57. You got diabetes. You got gout in your pinky toe. You can't see over your belly. And you still trying to work that little old piece of job here and there. You don't own nothing. You didn't do anything. You didn't get nothing. You didn't make nothing move. You had 6 decades. The first 2 I give you. Young. Your first of your child. Then you're young. Okay. And then what happened to the other ones? I said even Kaya told women, cook some food, take it to the firehouse, get a blue collar man, walk by the construction site, find a single man. Yeah. And you know, Kaya old school hyena. Kaya old school hyena. She know how, because I believe Kaya married. Kaya got married. Listen, go ahead on over there to the men. Stop acting stupid and carry them a plate. You get you some collard greens, fry you some chicken, get you some cornbread, and make them a little mac and cheese and bring it on over there. The hot water cornbread is too advanced. That is too advanced. Go on, get you some Jiffy Mix. Go on, get you some Jiffy Mix. Get you some Jiffy Mix. Baked mac is also too advanced. That is too advanced for these youngins. Go ahead and get you a box mac and cheese. Get you a box mac and cheese. You're not ready yet for baked mac and cheese and hot water cornbread. You're not ready for that. Because then you have to get your cast iron skillet. Y'all don't even own those. So you just baby step. Thank you, Chief, said hot water cornbread. The baby step. You got to start out with some Jiffy Mix. And then start out with box. Man, get you some good box. Don't get Kraft. I will use Annie's because baked mac and cheese is involved. I don't even really do baked mac and cheese. I ain't did baked mac and cheese in a long time. And it's because you got to get the eggs. And then if you really want to do it right, you get the long macaroni. You don't even get the elbow macaroni. You get the straight macaroni. It's the whole thing. Some folks don't even know that exists. They think all macaroni is elbow. It's not. It's straight macaroni. You have to get your recipe for baked mac and cheese and get it from somebody who know how to cook it. Because all y'all grandmas is my age. Because you can't get it from grandma. Thank you, Sister Beshwas. I would love to live up to my auntie status and teach these young women, but sadly they won't listen to me. Yeah, we pick me's and all that old kind of stuff. Anyway, jump down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your hostess, The Crimson Cure, and this is my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.